What's up, guys? So today's video is going to be about how I formed my business into an actual S Corp, what I claimed on my taxes, and how much I actually got back. What's up, YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs, guys. Hope everybody's doing really well. If you don't already do so, definitely check me out on Instagram, blue_line_morphs. Everything's Blue Line Morphs, but definitely hit me up over there. I don't know what's going on. My algorithm is slowing down on Instagram. I've been slacking a little bit too. It is what it is. Everything's doing really well over here, guys. It is midweek. It is Tuesday at about 22 hours, so 10:22 Tuesday night. Banging this video out for Wednesday. Have my first egg cutting probably end of next week. So I'm excited about that. Get some babies out there. We're gonna fire up that hatchling rack and we'll see what happens. But I've been talking about doing this video for quite some time now because this is the first time first time for Blue Line Morphs that I formed it into an actual corporation in the state of New York. And I told you guys I've been completely transparent on my channel, just about everything, right? So I'm going to tell you exactly how much I made last year, which is mainly just PD money, to be honest with you. YouTube and a little bit of Uber Eats, remember that kick? And I'm going to tell you how much I claimed, what you're able to claim, how much I got back federally from the state government, also from New York City itself. I get hit with federal tax, state tax, and city tax, so I get destroyed. It's fucking gross. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you exact dollar amounts. Then I'm going to talk about how I formed like my bank account for the business Blue Line Morphs and what I've been using that for and what you can kind of use it for. Now, if you guys enjoy a video like this and you want me to get into more depth with the whole business aspect of things, I am not that great of a businessman, to be honest with you. A lot of the knowledge I get or I was pushed to make it is from Joe from Empire State Exotics. Then, of course, the account I hooked up with from him. And I know Sal from Gomez Pythons also formed, I think, the same thing I did. Either way, guys, it's probably a really good idea to do this, especially if you plan on selling a lot of your animals or you plan on being a quote-unquote breeder, right? Like I'm trying to be. Because as far as I know, I don't know the details of everything, but I do know that I think as of 2022, if you can comment down below if you know more than I do, as of 2022, or electronic payments by any sort of service, right? So whether it's Cash App or it's Venmo or it's PayPal, so forth and so Zelle, so forth and so on, if you have $600 that goes through one of those apps, regardless if it's 1 penny from, I don't know, again, I'm not good at math, 1 penny, 100, but 60,000 or 6,000 different people, whatever the case may be, if the amount in that app is over $600, you're going to have to claim in your taxes, right? So with that being said, a lot of people have been able to hide it. You just get money on Venmo, you don't tell nobody, you call it quits. But that's why Venmo and all these other apps start to ask for your social security number and so forth and so on, because they're going to have to start reporting to the government, which means anything that you sell online or you use those different apps to collect the money from, you're going to have to claim if it crosses $600, okay? So if you think about doing it, I would definitely do it. So let's get right into this. I was pushed to do this from Joe from Empire State Exotics. He's a really good businessman. He told me if I'm taking it to the level that I want to take it, I want to keep going. This is probably your best bet. There's a lot of benefits to doing it. Yes, you are claiming money now, and maybe you're not going to be able to keep as much cash. But I like playing, doing things by the book, and if you do it right, you'll be all right. Anyway, so the first thing I had to do is I legit had to print out every single one of my bank statements from 2020. Now, everything that I use to pay for any of my snakes, be it PayPal or Venmo or pretty much anything else, unless it was a cash deal, went through my TD Bank. So what I did is I printed out all my statements. I mean, the paperwork is about that thick, guys. And I went through and I highlighted everything I could possibly highlight that was snake related, okay? These were your general things. Like if I went to Country Critters and I bought rats for the day before, so I was getting my rats from Sal, or I picked up new equipment, just little bullshit here and there. Now, what I didn't realize is you can actually go through and claim other stuff. Like I went through and I got the receipts and I claimed the humidifier, or I claimed like these jugs right here that I keep, they're heavy, on deck with the water, right? Or you claim little things like this here, or you buy this table, or you buy a computer, right? Because I had to buy a new computer. Of course I did. I had to buy a phone. So all these little things like that, I went through and I highlighted. Took me quite some time. So long story short, everything that I had to write off that I spent on business aspect of things, in other words, snakes, rats, or equipment, or I had to buy a computer, like I said, humidifier, heater, stuff like that, it came out to about $36,000 to $39,000 that I claimed, okay? Now, that total expenditure was also some of the stuff that I claimed for PD. Now, with the police department, I'm able to claim there's certain rulings for the, I guess, Supreme Court or whatever case may be, where I can order food. I can sit down and order food. A job comes over, a shooting, stabbing, or a bank robbery. Who the hell knows what happens? I have to run out. So I'm able to claim $10 a day off food. I'm able to claim certain things, right? I got to get newspapers every day, right? I got to make sure I have internet in my home to keep up with the current times of the cop. So you can claim a lot of stuff. So all said and done, by claiming the police deductions, which are your normal deductions that you claim, right? Or interest on student loans, so forth and so on. Between that and all the stuff that I claimed for snakes, we came out to a little bit over $40,000, okay? It was about $42,000 to $43,000. A lot of that was mainly the snakes, because I did spend an awful lot of money on these animals. Now, I got all that was all paper trail through Venmo, through mainly PayPal, and of course through my TD Bank. If you do a cash deal, it kind of is what it is, guys, okay? So now, let me find where I am. Once I put all that stuff together, I sent it over to my account. Now, as a cop, now this is the full disclosure, guys, right? This is shit I talk about. I'm going to be honest with you. As a cop, on a detective salary, and working 30 to 40 hours overtime a month, which really isn't that bad, I made just under $148,000 last year from the police department. Now, I was monetized from YouTube, so like $1,500, and the Uber Eats money that I was getting, I think it was like $4,000 or something like that. So it put me up at about the $155,000 mark. Now, when I minused all my normal deductions from the police department, and then especially minus a lot of deductions from my bank accounts with the snakes, a lot of the money was just straight up snakes. Like I said, some was Home Depot runs, stuff like that, where I had to buy equipment or I had to buy certain things, okay? So I claimed about $42,000 in total against that $155,000 of my personal income. Let me backtrack before I tell you exactly how much I got back. I chose to do an S-Corp. Now, I can do more research and try to figure out and talk about S-Corp. So I think there's other one's called an E-Corp or an LLC. I don't know. I don't know all the differences. I kind of understand the gist of it. I was guided by people that I trust. However, an S-Corp, essentially what you do is you're setting up a company that has 100 different shares of the company. Is it publicly traded? No, it's nothing like that. But if you have a spouse and you want to give them 50% of the company, give them 50 shares. It's kind of the way it works. So essentially what happens is, let's say the company made $100,000 one year. Now, you write off $30,000, correct? So now there's $70,000 left over that you have to give out to your shareholders. So my understanding is, if you just put that into, you just take that $70,000 as an LLC and you're the LLC holder and you put it into your bank account, essentially, you got to pay the taxes on like income tax on that $70,000. Where it comes to an S Corp, it kind of gets broken down into like dividends, okay? So which I think is taxed at a lower bracket. That's my on a lower percentage. That's my understanding of it. So I chose to go an S Corp. That's first and foremost. If you guys want me to talk more about the S Corp LLCs and stuff like that, I'll sit down with Joe, I'll sit down with Tony, and I'll really figure out the minute details that makes a difference. But honestly, I think it varies from state to state what's best for you. For me, this is probably my best bet. So, with the $155,000 that I made, mainly from the police department and a couple other bullshit things, writing off all that stuff, my tax return. Now, last year, without writing all the snake stuff off, it was my first year claiming my house, so I did fairly well. I'm shaking my board here. I did fairly well. I took home about $9,000 in taxes. Like $8,700 in taxes I took home in total, federal, state, and city. Now, when you're a New York City police officer, you don't live in the five boroughs, you do get charged city tax, which is ridiculous to me. It's about $6,000 a year, and you get back not even, I don't know, 15% or something like that. So, anyway, I got back about $8,700 last year. With all those claims, everything from this year, from this federal government, my first year as an S-Corp, it does count against its personal income now. S-Corp is a personal income. It doesn't count as its own entity. It is, but also counts against your own. The money you make off of that and what you claim goes against your personal taxes, okay? That's what I chose to do. Whatever. So, I got back roughly $19,500 from the federal government. I got about $2,200 back from the state, New York State, and about $1,500 back from the city. So all said and done, you're looking about $23,000 I got back in my tax return. Now, let's say last year I had a great year because I had my first year as a house. That was at $8,700. I probably should have got about back $5,000, right? Because I do claim 0 and 0 and 0, and no kids, no spouse, etc., etc. So with that being said, a normal year is probably about $6,500. So because of the business, I took home an extra about 18 grand. I was really happy about that, right? It was a lot of money in the bank account. It's pretty much all gone now. If you guys remember, I bought a bunch of shit, but it's just kind of the way I roll. Okay, it is what it is. I'm all in with this stuff. You guys know that, and that's what I got back. So, just to reiterate, made about $155,000 last year from the police department and a little bit from Uber Eats. Claimed about $36,000 to $39,000 in expenditures for Blue Line Morphs as an S corp, plus some other PD typical bullshit write-offs that everyone does, or interest or student loans. Got back $19,500 federally, $19,500 federally, $2,200 state, about $1,500 from the city. Really good chunk of change. So what I've been doing is this. I've read a couple articles talking about breaking things down to 30, 30, 30, 35, 35, 30, stuff like that. So what I decided to do is essentially 30 to 35% of all the money I make from Blue Line Morphs will be invested back into the company. Whether it's equipment, whether it's snakes, or whatever the case may be. Another 30 to 35% will be used to pay off debt or to invest to make passive income, whether that's stock market, 401k, or whatever the case may be. If you owe student loans, pay them off. You own a car, pay the car off, stuff like that, okay? Knock down stuff, extra mortgage payment. Now, 30 to 35%, yes, I know, 35 is 105, but sometimes it's 30, sometimes it's 29, whatever the case may be, right? You guys figure that out. The last 30 to 35% is going to be saved into my savings account, just to have money. Now, what I choose to do with that the rest 30%, could just be the money could sit in the bank account. I could choose to invest that money, right? And kind of put more than just 30% into investing and paying off debt. But ultimately, what I also decided is that last 30 to 35%, you take about 15 to 20% of that, 25%, and that's your play money, right? So you do with that what you want. Okay, now, that's how I'm breaking down my business model. Okay, guys, it's gonna adapt, it's gonna change. That's how I'm trying to do this. I never owned a business before. I'm trying to do this the best way possible. So once I was an S corp, I shot over to TD Bank, and I registered the company with them, and I got a business account set up. There's like varying degrees of levels of the business account you need. One's like you have to have 60 grand there all the time. Not fucking happening. Like I said, I got 20 grand in my account. I went on vacation to Mexico, as you guys know. Blacked out like a child and spent, I don't know, guys, what was it? Like 15 grand in snakes, okay? Pretty much all to my clown pie project, which, by the way, on Saturday, that's going to be that video talking about my entire clown pie project, all the genes that I have involved in it. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. Went to TD Bank, got the business set up. I got a debit card. Now, this is what I've been doing lately that is going to help me for next year. With that debit card, I have that debit card hooked on my PayPal account now too. So I go to pay for certain things. Yes, PayPal's getting weird, guys. I know that. We'll talk about that another time. I want to do more research on that. I think we should be fine. Just don't say you're selling snakes, right? Just call it like, item number 1. I don't understand why that's difficult for people. Anyway, yeah. So I formed the account and it hooked up my PayPal, hooked up with various other things. So this is what I do now, guys. Straight up. I go to Shirley Pet and Feed to pick up rat food in Missouri and to buy Shelby food. Okay, I buy Shelby, my pit bull. I buy Shelby food. I buy her collars and shit. And I also get her groomed there every 3 weeks. When I run it through my debit card for my business account, Blue Line Morphs, it comes up Shirley Pet and Feed. Straight up, it's a write-off every single time, okay? Why? Because how are they going to know what I got, right? I could be getting Missouri all the time. I could be getting fucking cocoa. Who knows? Either way, they don't know. So I use that every time I go there, especially. Now, I am a bachelor, so every 3 or 4 months, I go to Walmart and I load up on everything, right? 10 deodorants, 10 this, 10 body washes, 10 Clorox. That's just what I do. I get a stack of paper towels, so forth and so on. So what I decided to do is, because I do that pretty much quarterly, every other quarter I'm going to use my debit card for my business account. I need paper towels for the snakes. I need spray bottles or cleaning solution, right? So you write all that shit off too. Also, if you go to Home Depot, like the other day with the Home Depot, I got a screen door. I got an attic ladder, whatever the case may be. And I also picked up a new humidifier. Guess what? Use a business account, right? How to get supplies, how to build shit in the reptile room, so forth and so on. You can write off certain gas. If you're using your car for your business, which we all are, right? Get a couple stickers, throw it on the back of the car. Write off some of that gas here and there. Use that business card. You can also write off some of the mileage here and there if you go on the show, so forth and so on, right? So if I'm driving up with Sal to go to the show, and me, Sal, Big E, whoever the case may be, and I'm going up to New Hampshire to one of these shows, you use your debit account, use your card, right? Now, let's say you want to take your girl out to a nice fancy dinner. Talk about snakes while you're there. Listen, you can't be an idiot, right? Every time you go out to dinner, you go out to the bar, you can't be dropping the business account. But if you go out to a dinner, what says it's not a business dinner? Here and there, you can write that off, right? It kind of is what it is. Also, like for me, I have the room here. Certain square footage of my house you can write off against the interest and the payments and the mortgage and stuff like that. Certain amount of your electrical bill, certain amount of your phone bill, certain amount of your internet bill, so forth and so on. You can start writing all that stuff off. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, you have to write off because you're claiming it now. What if I don't claim it? Again, because everything that's going on with the internet and the Venmo apps and all the other stuff, you have to claim it anyway. Plus, it's just good to do a legitimate business, right? Of course, you get cash, put in the safe, nobody knows. But those are some of the things you can write off. Those are some things that I've been doing. Again, I'm really new to this, okay, guys? And if you guys want, I will keep you guys updated with how I changed the business side of things. For example, when I ordered my business cards, or I ordered the clutch cards. By the way, a lot of people ask me. These are from Vistaprint, guys. If you want, I can send you a picture of it, and you can legit do what I did, and you pay them $5. You say, I want this, make that, and they do it for you, okay? All this I wrote off, right? Because it's a business expense. You get the t-shirts, I'll get my t-shirts made soon. Business expense, stuff like that, right? Yeah, it's just, you can pretty much write off anything if you do it correctly and just don't be a knucklehead. But so far, that's what I'm doing. That's what I have set up. That's what I got on my tax return. Again, this is a quick little video, guys. I am by no means an expert when it comes to businesses. I am by no means an expert businessman by any sense, by any stretch of the word. But this is what I have been doing. This is what I've learned over the past few months. This is what I've seen firsthand, okay? That's the money I got back. That's how much I made in PD. That's what I claimed. And instead of doing the 30-30-30 rule like I explained, I pretty much put 65-70% back in. But realistically, guys, they're all kind of investments in themselves, right? So I have that 30% that's, back into the business and 30% investments. So they're kind of the same thing there. So if you do 60% in your business, I don't see why it's an issue, because a lot of these things, again, these things are investments. Even though we love them, you can look at them. What the fuck's going on there? You can look at them like investments. My girl right here, the pastel lychee pie girl, just had her pre-laid shit, so I'm really happy about that. Other than that, guys, yeah. So that's the video. If you want me to do more videos like this and try to explain things as I go along, do more research, if you want, I can talk to my accountant, maybe sit down with him and have him do a little interview talking about setting things up. If you are in New York, if you're on Long Island or maybe Westchester, you're looking for a really good accountant, hit me up. All right, DM me on Instagram. I got my guy from Joe from Empire State Exotics. And Tony is the man, okay? Straight up, he's the man. There's all these little tricks of the trade you could do, and I'm slowly learning them, okay? Again, I can do more videos like this if you want. Let me know. But that's the end of the video, guys. That's how much I got back. That's how much I made. Now you guys know. I think it's worth it. I think it's cool to take out the... when I was with my girl, I was like... put it on the business card. Even though it's a debit card, it's cash in there, I don't know. Oh, also, one thing that was explained to me is when I take money out of my personal account and I put it into my debit account, it counts as almost a write-off for yourself. Yes, I know that you're claiming your taxes against yourself and the money from Blue Line Morphs is going against your own personal income. However, if I'm taking $4 or $5 grand and from my personal account and putting it into the business account, I'm investing into the business in some sort of write-off. I think it's a percentage or something like that. Again, I get more details of that, but that's what I did so far, guys, okay? Not bad for a dumb cop, not bad. We're making our way through it, and worked out really well. So I got some of the money back that I spent last year, put it right back into the business, pretty much right here. I got the black hat pinstripe double hat, JT Mojave double hat, and then you got the killer leopard clown pied, and I owed money to Joe from Empire State Exotics from that Batman girl, that freak up there, and that mystery clown. So all said and done, it was well worth it to me, guys. That's what I got back. Complete and total transparency. Appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, guys. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Let's get this show on the road here. Stay tuned for Saturday's video. I'm going to go over my entire clown pie project. Really happy with the genetics that I got. And I got a lot of codoms mixed in there with the clown pies. Other than that, guys, any questions, DM me on Instagram, blue_line_morphs. I have about 70 pending requests right now. I'm going to go through and catch up, guys. Got a lot of shit going on in personal life. But no excuse. Back on my sprinklers. We're going for 45 minutes now. All my grass will be dead. Anyway, my alarm's going off. That's why. Anyway, guys, back in the saddle here. We'll get this thing up and running. Shove some babies on the ground soon. Really excited. As always, guys, I appreciate it. Be safe. Please remember, watch your six.